I am reading queer books for the entire month of June. So I'm going to take you on that journey with me. I'm so excited. I want to be there. I want to be there on the Italian countryside falling in love, okay? Like, bro, give me a break. And honestly, who wouldn't want a cat-sized, puppy-sized dragon to take care of?
What? No.
This is my first YouTube video back in over a year. It's been so long. But hello. Welcome to my channel. My name is Jen, a sea of reads, if you will. The first book I'm reading in June is Almost Life by Kiran Millwood Hargrove. The cover, stunning. I got this from Book of the Month back in March, and I've been saving it for June. I don't know, I just felt like because this is set in the summertime, I felt like this would be a great book to read during Pride Month, so I saved it for then. Erica and Laura meet in Paris, 1978. Erica is relishing her first summer abroad before beginning university at home in England. Laura is studying for her doctorate at the Sorbonne. Fuck, I don't know. The moment the two women meet, the spark is undeniable. Laura knows better than to get too close to tourists. They're surely only capable of fleeting interest, but she ignores all the alarm bells and pulls Erica closer, sharing her friends, home, and life with her. The alternative lifestyle offered by Paris and Laura's queer friends in a world away from Erica's small-town life in England. Though Erica wrestles with the stigma of being with a woman, she can't help but fall deeply for Laura's charm. At the end of summer, Erica and Laura can no longer deny that their feelings go beyond lust. Yet Erica decides to return home, leaving Laura shattered. Their encounter becomes far more than a passing summer fling, evolving into a relationship that will define their lives. In the decades to come, Erica and Laura will constantly be pulled into each other's orbit. They will experience heart-wrenching losses, dreams realized and crushed, and other great loves and heartbreaks. Each time they meet, they will be faced with the same choice, their love or another life. Yeah, this sounds so good. The only thing about this, the only qualm I have, I'm only on chapter 2, so bear with me here, that there is a age gap, like a small age gap. Erica is 18 and Laura is 24, and it's making me a bit uncomfortable because obviously we know that they sleep together. I don't know. That makes me a bit uncomfortable. But other than that, I have met Laura and Erica. I've gotten to know them really well because the chapters are insanely long. I think I will update you at my halfway point and we'll see how I'm enjoying it. I'm really liking the writing. The writing is beautiful and I love that it's sapphic. As a sapphic queer woman myself, I'm really enjoying this a lot. Guys, I think I've gotten about 25% of the way through Almost Life, and I think I'm gonna DNF it. I'm doing a queer video as a queer woman, and I'm DNFing the first book. This feels like a crime. I feel like I need to be going to jail or something, but alas. The writing was beautiful, don't get me wrong. I think I would read something else from this author. I just found the characters kind of insufferable. It just felt like these characters were like cardboard cutouts, and I wasn't really getting any grave detail. It felt like a lot of telling and not showing, and oh my gosh, guys, I usually am not opposed to spice. I have read quite a few romance novels that have spicy scenes, but there is so much sex in this book to the point where it made me a little uncomfortable, and also I don't think I'm able to get past the age gap. The whole thing is just making me really uncomfortable, and I feel like life is too short to be reading books that are making me uncomfortable, which is so sad and such a disappointment because this was one of my most anticipated reads. I've been waiting to read this. I've been so excited, and the cover is gorgeous. Like, I would frame this cover. It's so beautiful, and it just did not live up to what I thought it was going to. I'm a chronic DNFer, you will come to know, and I'm just, life is too short to be reading books I'm not enjoying, and I think I will enjoy the next one, so let's talk about that. Here We Go Again by Alison Cochrun. I believe it follows two childhood best friends. I think it's like a childhood best friends to lovers who are working as teachers. Their former English teacher gets diagnosed with cancer and he only has a few months to live. And one last thing he wanted to fulfill was like a cross-country road trip. So the girls take it upon themselves to take him across the country. I'm so excited. I think this is going to be so good. I know this is going to be very sad because of the cancer aspect, but I think I really want some like fluffy romance, and I think this will give that. Like I think I'll get, even with all the sadness, like I'll get the like fluff that I really want right now. I think this will be really, really good, and I'm really excited. So without further ado, let's get into this one, and I will tell you my thoughts at the halfway point. It's been a few days since we last spoke. I've touched up my hair since we last talked, so I'm really happy about that. But I did just get to the 60% mark of Here We Go Again, and I was right. I love this so, so, so much. I'm so happy that we had a good outcome with this book. I think I'm gonna rate it really highly. It's definitely in the 4-star realm. I love how touching and heartfelt and beautiful this story is. I'm loving the relationship not only between Logan and Rosemary themselves, but between Logan, Rosemary, and Joe. I love Joe so, so, so much, and I'm dreading the end of this story because I don't know. But if you know what the story is about, obviously you know what will most likely happen at the end, and I'm dreading it because I love him so much. I'm really, really enjoying it. I can't wait to tell you my final thoughts at the end. And I do just want to say that the topics that are written about in this story are written with such care. I just really appreciate that. I can tell a lot of research and love went into this story, and there's just something about Alison's writing that I just love oh so much. It's so soft, it's tender, it's beautiful, and I definitely want to read so many more books by this author. Like this, she has definitely become an auto by author for me. Hello, my friends. I was just coming on to say that I did finish Here We Go Again by Alison Cochrun. Oh my gosh, I think I'm gonna settle on a 4.5-star rating. I loved this so, so, so much. I can't believe the amount I sobbed when I finished this book. I truly think the writing in this was incredible. The story was so good. It held so much depth, and I love the representation in this book, not only between Logan and Rosemary, but Joe as well, and Joe's long lost love, and the drag queen representation was just phenomenal. And there was just so much queerness in this book, which I loved. Like, don't get me wrong, I love a queer story no matter what, but I love that there were so many queer stories in this, and it just made me really happy. If cancer is something that is a very sensitive topic for you, definitely go in with a bit of caution because it's hard. It's really hard. I sobbed a lot. It definitely will be a book I will remember for a very, very, very long time, and something I will keep forever. This is definitely going on my Hall of Fame sapphic romances. Let's talk about the next book I'm going to pick up. I'm so excited for this one, and that is Me by Elton John. I swear to you guys, this is probably the book that has been sitting on my physical TBR the longest. I think I've had this for 2 or 3 years now. I love Elton John, so there's no reason for me to have been putting it off as much as I have. I've been listening to the audiobook. I'm probably about 20% in, absolutely loving it so far, and it is told by Taron Egerton, who played Elton in Rocketman, which I really loved. I was like, this voice sounds so, so familiar. Where do I know him from? And I looked him up, and I was like, no way! Like, this is literally Elton in the movie. Like, I love that so much, so that made me really happy to see. The back of this has a quote that I really, really love, and that is, "The great thing about rock and roll is that someone like me can be a star." And I think that really encapsulates everything the story is going to hold. I got to a specific part where he met and is talking about Freddie Mercury, which I love Freddie so much, so just hearing Freddie Mercury's name and hearing it from someone that like knew him really well was just so lovely. Like, I was in the car and my jaw dropped and I was like, anyway, I am going to work on my latch hook and listen to the audiobook. I'm very, very excited because I'm almost done. Here she is. She's Little Mouse. I literally only have this much left. I'm literally so close to being done. So I really, really want to lock in. I want to lock in. I'm going to listen to the Elton John audiobook, and I will tell you my thoughts at the halfway point or when I finish the latch hook, whichever comes first. my latch hook. Yay! Look how cute it is. I can't wait to hang her up. I know it's like technically a pillowcase, but I'm gonna hang her up on my wall. So I did get to the 50% mark of Me by Elton John, and can I just say I'm loving this. I love Elton John. I think he's so mesmerizing and just he's so sassy and full of so much energy in life, and I would love to get to like actually meet him someday, but oh my gosh, there will be moments that I am just laughing so hard at some of the decisions that this man makes. I love how absolutely brutally honest this man is. There are some things about this man's life I had no idea about. Hi Willow. I did get to the 50% mark, so I am officially halfway through, and I can't wait to see what else is in store. Hello friends, it has been quite a few days since I last updated you. I didn't even tell you my final thoughts on Me by Elton John, so we're gonna get into that. Now this was a memoir following Elton John's life, and let me just say I devoured this. I think I'm going to be recommending this for a very long time. It really followed the trials and triumphs of Elton John's life. The things he's been through have been actually pretty brutal. I didn't realize just how much this man has been through till I read this. I knew the basics of things that I knew from the media, but obviously like I don't know him. I didn't know the very dark details of his addiction and the people that he's lost and the things he's gone through. So that was very hard to read. I feel like the parts that were really sad, I was crying. The parts that were really humorous, I was laughing. Like he had me feeling so much during this, and I loved it. I did. I really loved it. The next book that I started was Nymph by Sofia Montrone. I was in a very bad flare-up from chronic illness, so I've just started this without really recording my thoughts or taking any B-rolls. I am already a little bit over halfway, so let's talk about it. In this, we follow Leo and her little brother Max over the course of 2 summers 10 years apart, one before a tragedy strikes them and the other after, and they spend several of their summers at their grandmother's agriturismo? I don't know how to pronounce it. Agriturismo. Is that how you pronounce it? In the northern Italy countryside. I don't know how you pronounce that. I feel like I'm butchering that. In the later summer, Leo meets a woman by the name Dolores, and they strike a romantic relationship. It kind of follows that and how tragedy affected Leo and Max's life and how that tragedy kind of shaped her growing up. I think this is really good. This is told in 2 parts. There are no chapters, but it is really short. There are no chapters. It's just part 1 and part 2, the summer before, the summer after. I am loving the writing. The writing is so atmospheric. I genuinely feel like I am there. I am so engrossed. I'm so connected. I'm actually dreading the story coming to an end because I don't want to leave this little world. Like I feel like I want to be at an agriturismo. I know I'm not pronouncing that right. I want to be there. I want to be there on the Italian countryside falling in love. Okay, like, bro, give me a break. I can't recommend this enough, and I haven't even finished it yet. So let's go and finish this, and I will tell you my final thoughts. I finished Nymph by Sofia Montrone. Oh my goodness. Did I love this. I love the relationship between Leo and her brother Max, as well as Leo and Dolores, the girl that she meets in the later summer. This was told so beautifully. I love that this was told in 2 parts. The only thing is that I am a short chapters girly, and the fact that there are no chapters in this, my brain. I feel like I'm going to settle on a 4.25, but I'm not sure. I just thought, I don't know. I'll get back to you on that because I don't know. I never know my rating right after I finish it. I loved this a lot. I love the writing. I love the characters. I love the connection to the Iliad and the Odyssey and how that shifted Leo's upbringing and how she thought of the world. I really, really devoured that. And it made me, oddly enough, want to read the Iliad, which is not something that I would ever say. I'm still in a very big reading mood, but I don't think I want to start like a full novel. So I have a bunch of queer graphic novels right here. I figured it'd be super fun to see how many we can get through by the end of the day today. I have Nimona, Gender Queer, which is a memoir. And then I have the entire Tea Dragon Society trilogy. That is my plan. My queer book plan, if you will. Thank you for coming on this journey with me. I really appreciate you if you're here. Guys, I finished the Tea Dragon Society trilogy, and let me just say, 5-star trilogy. This was absolutely divine. I can't stop smiling and giggling and kicking my feet because this was just so, so, so wonderful. This follows Greta, who finds a lost tea dragon in the village that she lives in, and she starts to learn about the dying art form tea dragon caretaking by the Tea Dragon Society. Where there she also meets Minette, and they strike a fast growing bond very, very quickly, and she learns what it is and what it means to be a tea dragon caretaker in the Tea Dragon Society. This has 4 main characters, which is Greta, Minette, Ezekiel, and Eric. The second one follows Eric's niece, Rin, and the dragon that she finds named Adhan. And then the third one connects all of them, which made me really, really happy because the second one I was really missing Greta and Minette. So I was really hoping that they would come back, and then they very much did, and I was very happy to see them again. This really is a trilogy about growth and longing and grief. I could cry. I really, really, really love this. I love the characters, the art. I would literally frame every single piece in here if I had the room. This also has so much representation too. It has homosexuality, it has disability representation, mobility aid representation, deaf and hard of hearing representation as well. The demographic for these books is like 7th graders. I'm a 26-year-old woman. I loved these so much. I don't know what this is about me, but the fact that grown adults can also enjoy this just as much as children, I think is so important. I think everyone could get something out of this story. And honestly, who wouldn't want a cat-sized, puppy-sized dragon to take care of? Next one I'm going to read is Nimona by N.D. Stevenson. I don't know how this is LGBT, but it is classified as LGBT on Storygraph and Goodreads and all that. So definitely know it is. I just don't know where the representation lies. So I'm very excited. I don't know really anything about this, so let's figure it out and read the back together, shall we? Nimona, an impulsive young shapeshifter with a knack for villainy. Lord Ballister Blackheart is a villain with a vendetta. As sidekick and supervillain, Nimona and Lord Blackheart are about to wreak some serious havoc. Their mission: prove to the kingdom that Sir Ambrosius Goldenloin and his buddies at the Institution of Law Enforcement Heroics aren't the heroes everyone thinks they are. Nemesis, dragon, science, symbolism, all these and more await in this brilliantly submersive, sharply irreverent epic from N.D. Stevenson, based on the award-winning webcomic. I didn't know that! That's so cool! I'm so excited. I'm gonna read this in like one sitting again. I just am having so much fun. Like, I don't want to stop reading graphic novels right now. Let's get into it.
What? We could order a pizza.
I need to watch the movie. This was so good, so fun. This was so funny. There were moments where my jaw was on the floor. It grips you from the very first page, which I really appreciated. Like, it is action-packed which was so fun to follow. I love Nimona. I love her shape-shifting abilities. I loved her humor. I love the humor in general in this book. It made me feel a lot, especially at the end too. I was like, whoa. I feel like I've been reading so much that my brain is very mushy right now, and I feel like I don't really have articulate thoughts. But that's okay. I feel like this was very steampunk, medieval, fantasy, modern, like all wrapped up into one graphic novel, and I think it was very brilliantly done. Literally my only qualm with this book was I didn't love the lettering. I don't know if you can tell, but the lettering is very tiny and kind of hard to read. I don't like the font that was used for the lettering. That's it. Trying to think of qualms I had with this book, and I don't think I had any besides that. I love the queer representation. Of course I did. That's why I'm reading it during Queer Pride Month. Queer Month. I'm so tired. But yeah, if you're into that medieval modern fantasy, I feel like you need this up. Hello, it's a few days later, and I got to about the 75% mark of Canon, and I was just so invested that I completely forgot to come on here and give an update. So here's me doing that before I go ahead and finish it. If you don't know what this is about, this follows two people who are set on a mission to defeat Dominic, the leader of the bad guys, to win over God's favor. And I think one of the best parts about this book is that God is he's just some guy. Like, he's not like an almighty, all-knowing being. He's just some guy, and I love that so much. Yara is a non-binary person who ends up finding themselves on a quest from God to defeat Dominic. Adrena is a lesbian prophet who wants to prove herself to God, so decides to take it upon herself to defeat Dominic for him without being put on this quest. One thing that I really loved about this, and the reason why I recommend reading it physically, I immersive read this, so I read it physically with the audiobook, is that the stylistic choice of this is so beautiful. For example, I'll flip to a random page in this and you'll see exactly what I mean. Like just the line breaks. Also, some chapters are literally like a tiny little page and like that's it, and then it goes on to the next chapter, and then it's told in a format of like different books. So book 1, and then it goes like book 2, book 3, book 4, and that's kind of how like the sections are broken up. And I just think that is so interesting and so fun, and it makes it for a very fast read. Like it feels like it's a big book. It's like almost 500 pages, but because of the stylistic choices, the line breaks, some chapters being literally one sentence or one paragraph, like it feels like you read it very, very fast. I will. But if you want a book that's full of whimsy, this is the one for you. I'm really enjoying it so far. There are a multitude of side characters as well outside of Yara and Adrena that I'm also really, really loving. Another side character, I think my favorite side character is the whale. The whale has its own part, its own story, and I love the whale. I love the whale so much. I don't have much longer till I finish this, so I am actually going to go do that, and then I will give you guys my final thoughts. Hello, long time no see. I'm back because I finished Canon. Let me put the dust cover on it. One sec. I finished Canon, and I gotta say, I love this. I absolutely devoured this. I am feeling like between a 4.5 and a 5 star. I loved the commentary on religion. I just truly think that if you're a queer person that grew up with having a relationship with religion, whether that was good or bad, I truly think that you would get a whole lot out of this book. It was just so well done. The writing was so good. I love the stylistic choice of this. I just had so much fun with this. I loved Yara. I loved Adrena. I loved the side characters. And another thing I don't think I've really talked about enough with this book is the humor. Every character has a wonderful sense of humor. I don't remember the last time that a book genuinely, like consistently made me laugh out loud. And I'm reading it for my book club, which I'm very, very excited about. I can't wait to talk about this with the girls because, oh my gosh, I cannot wait to hear their thoughts. Like, I'm so happy that I will have people to talk about this with, because I feel like this is definitely one of those books where I finish it and I just want to talk everyone's ear off about it. It was so good. I wanted to come on here and say that I finished another book, and it was a poetry collection, and that was Gay Girl Prayers by Emily Austen. I don't have any type of relationship with religion. Religion was just not part of my youth or growing up or how I was raised. But I wanted to read this really, really badly because I love Emily Austen so much. And this was the last thing I had to read from her before I was like officially caught up on everything that she has put out into the universe. I really love this. This is about queer resistance in the religious doctrine. The poetry itself felt very easy to understand, which I appreciated, because sometimes poetry can be very hard for me to, what's the right word? Comprehend. Sometimes poetry can be very hard for me to comprehend. I really liked it. I read it in one sitting, which I really loved. I don't have a Kindle or a Kobo, so when I read ebooks, I usually just read them on my phone. So I didn't take any B-roll, which is why I'm popping on here randomly to say, hey, I finished a book. And I just love anything Emily Austen writes. Like, if she writes it, I'm gonna read it. The next book that I plan to read is an audiobook, actually, and that is Sunburn by Chloe Marie. Is it like Chloe Howarth? Chloe Marie Howarth? Am I wrong? I feel like I'm wrong. Chloe Michelle Howarth. Okay, I don't know why I was thinking Marie. I am very excited for this. I only have the audiobook on Libby. I don't have the physical copy of it, but if I do like the audiobook a lot, then I might get myself a physical copy, a little trophy, if you will, if I really like it. But I'm very excited because I've been wanting to read this probably for like a year or two now, and I don't know much about it. All I know is that it's a coming of age sapphic novel. I've heard it's like normal people, but for lesbians. I also heard it's very similar to Good Luck Babe by Chapel Roan. We will see. I may or may not have forgotten to pop in with a 50% check in. I finished the book. I want to give it a 5-star. It was so good. My camera's tilted. If you don't know what this is about, this follows two girls, Lucy and Susanna, who live in a small rural town in Ireland. And they fall in love really young, and they're trying to navigate how to handle that, how to be with each other and not tell anyone, and deciding on whether they should or should not tell anyone. And it's really hard when it comes to Lucy because she has a lot of religious trauma. Her family is not accepting of queer people in the slightest, and so she really has to decide whether she wants to lose her family or lose a love for life. Now, Lucy is a very morally gray character. She is the type of character that continuously makes all the wrong decisions in the effort to fit in and be loved, and she is just so scared of losing people that really affects all the relationships in her life, and it's very heartbreaking. I thought the writing was so well done. There was a lot of metaphors throughout this book that I thought were just so beautiful. The prose was beautiful, and I should say that this book is actually, it starts off set in the 80s and it kind of goes into the 90s, so it's not set in the modern era, and that makes her relationship with lesbianism so hard, and being queer so difficult. It is both very hard for both Lucy and Susanna, but of course we are in the head of Lucy, so we are getting way more in depth of how Lucy is feeling about not feeling attraction towards men, and how she is handling that, and how she doesn't quite understand why she doesn't feel that attraction towards men, and she tries so hard, and no matter what, her like attraction always lies with women, and she doesn't understand why she isn't like all her other friends who are straight and do like men. When she finds this relationship with Susanna, she finally has someone that like understands her and gets her and wants to take this journey along with her, but it is just so hard for Lucy to accept that. And I think that's where the story lies, is her grappling with the fact that she is a lesbian, and that is something that is not a choice. She really has to learn to accept that within herself. I could literally cry. This was so good. This was amazing. If you like Good Luck Babe by Chapel Roan, do yourself a favor and read this book. I feel like I don't have the right words to articulate how much I loved this book, and I'm so happy I did. I literally went and bought myself a copy, so there might be a reread in my future because I want to annotate this so bad. Okay, what book are we going to read next? Bookstories by Sarah Tollok. She's a local author and she signed it. Jen, thank you for making Bookstories a part of your reading life. You're welcome, Sarah. You're so welcome. It says Bookstories is an ode to the authors, editors, publishers, librarians, booksellers, and countless others who make up the ecosystem of books. After all, it takes a world of people to bring about a world of books. I'm going to start reading now. It's very, very short, so I'm hoping I can read it pretty quickly, maybe in like the next couple days. And I will let you know my thoughts on it at the 50% mark. I will remember this time to hop on and give that to you. Creatures. Hello, I got to the halfway mark of Bookstories by Sarah Tollok. If you guys have not heard of this book, have not heard of this author, please go read it and give her some love because oh my gosh, her writing is exquisite. This is a book set between the 1960s and present day, which is 2018. And it follows Dottie and her 4 friends, and in the present timeline we meet her roommate Jim, who also has a significant part in the story. In the 1960s they were sent these manuscripts of stories that were never finished by an anonymous person, and Dottie is retired now and she is still on a mission to find this author. And then she meets Jim, who is her new roommate, who is renting the room downstairs, and they become very unlikely friends, and I really love them. Their relationship really reminds me of Cameron and Tova from Remarkably Bright Creatures. I'm 50% through and it's about 250 pages, so it's not a long book at all. So I will definitely come back to you when I finish, but I feel like I'm gonna really, really, really love this. Guess who finished Bookstories, baby? I love that the last book of this video is an independently published queer story. I love this. I loved it. If you love books, I'm sure that's why you're here. You have to read this. It's wonderful. I loved all the characters. I loved all the side stories. I loved Dottie. I loved Jim. I loved Fred. I loved Homeless Man Fred. I love Psychic Becky. Like, you guys don't know what I'm talking about. You don't know who I'm talking about, but I love them. That's all you need to know. Like, this made me really happy. I really, really liked that. One thing I really loved is that the author really shows the loveliness of humanity in this book. I loved all the characters and how their stories connected, and how every single person in this book had such a unique story, a unique personality. And I really loved the queer representation in this. I loved the pan representation so much as a pansexual person myself. I thought it was so well done. She really just hit the mark. Like, it was so good. Oh my gosh, I talked about my stats and did a whole outro and everything and found out my microphone died. But it's okay, we move anyways. I'm gonna re-talk about them. I'm so excited to talk about them. I feel like I had one of the best reading months I've had so far all year. I read 11 books with a 4.48 average rating, which is crazy. I feel like this is the best reading month I've had the whole year, so I'm very happy. The books I read, Here We Go Again by Alison Cochrun, I gave that a 4.5 star. Then I read Me by Elton John, which I actually don't give ratings to memoirs or autobiographies, but I loved this nonetheless. Then I read Nymph by Sofia Montrone, which I gave 4 stars. After that, I read The Tea Dragon Society, Festival, and Tapestry. The first 2 I gave 4.5 stars, and the third one I gave a 5 star. So this was my first 5-star of the month. And then I read Nimona, which I gave 4 stars. Then I read Canon by Paige, which I gave 4.75 stars. After that, I read Gay Girl Prayers by Emily Austen, which I gave 4 stars. And then Sunburn by Chloe Michelle Howarth, which I gave 5 stars. Last but certainly not least, I read Bookstories by Sarah Tollok that I gave 4.5 stars to. Oh my gosh, that is it. that's the end of this video, which is absolutely so crazy. I feel like this was such a long month, but this was so much fun to film. I hopefully will get a video out every Saturday or every other Saturday, so stay tuned for that. Feel free to like and subscribe and comment LGBTQIA+ flag so I know who the real ones are who stay till the end. And I will see you guys in the next one. I hope you have a great day. I'm sending you so much love, and I will see you again in the next one.